Namaste beautiful yogis, welcome to Ali Kamanova Yoga. I'm Ali and today we're doing favorites of 2020. So today we're gonna do beauty, health, a series, TV series, and just maybe consciousness stuff. I'll see how far I can get. Oh, and parenthood and diet. So I'll see how far I can get down the list, but I'll tell you the things I've been enjoying in 2020 outside of yoga mostly. I'm not gonna cover a lot of the yoga things. Most of what I'm enjoying in yoga is on my website alikamenova.com, and we're doing a lot of new classes, just absolutely interesting to me explorations. I'm branching out. It's not just vinyasa flows how they used to be, but we're exploring things on a deep consciousness dive level. But anyways, let's get started with the favorites of 2020. A lot of beauty stuff, and I will start with my most favorite device lately. So as far as beauty goes, I'm 41, and once you get at a certain age, I probably started late, actually later than I should have. It is good to do something for your skin to keep it nice, because it is your face and you're gonna need your face to communicate with the world. I don't know, it's just a nice thing to take care of. If you can invest a little bit of time, maybe even while you're watching a movie or while you're watching videos, that's what I do. I always have things that I absolutely must watch, and that's my time when I'm just dedicating to learning something, and at the same time I use a beauty device. So this is something that was invented by Tesla. It's a Tesla coil, violet ray. The brand is Liftwant. I did a lot of research before I decided what to buy, and I do have a few videos on it that go into detail about it, but they're on my other channel, and not a lot of you are following me there, so you may or may not have heard about it. It's absolutely fabulous. It is a high frequency device that is really a really good device for the skin. It kind of works, I'll show you. It creates a little bit of a noise, and it creates a violet light or an orange light depending on the device you buy, but it's very bright right now, so maybe you can't quite see it. If I hide it in a more darkened area, you would see that this whole thing is violet. And this in particular has 10 levels. Now you have to apply a lot of oil onto your skin, and then you glide it over your skin. It creates a spark, and it stimulates collagen production, elastin, circulation, and so forth. It's really good for maintaining your skin, tightening the skin. It creates ozone. The argon gas creates ozone, so it kills bacteria. It has a lot of uses. They are at a different price. This one, I think, after I bought it, I just looked on Amazon last week, because I bought it 5 months ago maybe. So I think after I bought it, they upgraded it. It seems like it's an upgraded version of this particular brand. So it was $89, I think. It was $60 at the time I was researching it. So it looks like a completely new package. I think it's upgraded. It used to be black, and the professional one used to be white. I got the professional, and now the new one is white. So I'll list below absolutely everything I'm talking about. If I mention a recipe and so forth, everything will be listed in the description below. I'll tell you which ones I think are good. This one is definitely good. I've been using it as much as I can. I skip sometimes days, but if I can use it in the morning or even in the evening, I use it, because I see a difference, and it just helps me maintain my skin quality. And even if you're doing procedures and stuff, it can still probably space out your procedures, because if we decide to do something more serious, maybe all those vampire facials or platelet rich plasma PRP facials and such things. I still think if you're doing those things that are more serious about renewing your skin, you still, that type of device would tie you between sessions probably. Anyways, it's something at home that we can do that is absolutely fantastic. I have had, speaking of skin devices, I gotta show you this one because it's probably interchangeable. This one is really old, you can tell by the packaging. I bought it 15 years ago, it could be, and I must say I have not used it a lot, but lately I decided to start using it because it's negative pressure. And I love vacuuming cups. Now you have to put oil. Anything you do with those things, you have to put oil on your face first. And then as you place it on your face or anywhere, you glide it and it maintains this vacuum, which allows you to produce negative pressure type of massage, which is also very renewing, detoxing. It flushes the toxins from the layers of the skin. It's really, it stimulates again collagen, elastin, the muscles, and so forth. So it's really amazing. These are vacuum cups with a little pump, silicone pump on top. And I've prepared actually a serious vacuuming set, which I've talked about before on my channel, but I'll repeat it again because even though I don't do it often, I do it once every 2 years. If, for example, I've been carrying Lottie for a really long time and I feel out of balance or just like not quite right, this I have someone do it, Johnny in general, place it along my back with this gun. It creates vacuum with the cups, and he places it along my back and it relieves usually most tension, most pressure, aches, pains around the spine. So that's another thing. I think, again, it was something not very expensive. I bought it many years ago, and again, it looks old because it is old. But I've used it through the years, and usually with those types of things, you need them. If you pull your back or something, you need them right away, so there's no time to order them. So that's another thing. It's a vacuuming Chinese cups. They're called vacuum cups, cupping set, something like that. I'll list it below again. And speaking of Tesla, because this device was invented by Tesla and brought back into popularity by Edgar Cayce. And Edgar Cayce, I used to love reading his books. When I was a teenager, I read whatever I could get my hands on from Edgar Cayce, at the time translated in Bulgarian. And to me, it was just absolutely mind-expanding, because Edgar Cayce, he had a lot of readings for a lot of people in the healing, in the subjects of healing, Atlantis, dreaming, dreams. I even learned how to analyze dreams. And it was very interesting because it was otherworldly, his approach. It was very interesting. It was a way for me to expand my consciousness at the time. And he popularized this as the violet ray. And it was at the time a device for healing all kinds of aches and pains, not just for beauty. Nowadays it's used in spas. But it is worth sharing. It's not very expensive. As I said, I think a lot of the devices are around $60, and it's a professional facial type of device. But this particular brand, I see that it has changed packaging. It's updated, upgraded, and it's a little more expensive now, around $80-90. But I think it is. They have added a few new qualities to it probably. If I find out why it is a little higher price, I'll let you know in the description below. I'll kind of try to look into it and see. Now, speaking of Edgar Cayce, might as well show you. Oh, I have quite a bit of Edgar Cayce stuff. So Edgar Cayce, this company, Heritage Store, was started after his readings, because he gave a lot of readings to people about health and how to improve their health. So I do have his rose facial toner and rose petal rose water, and I have rose and glycerin, and those I use as I'm using the machine. I use this to spritz my face so that there is gliding force, something to glide over. But rose water, really amazing. This is where I'm going with, and that is the basic rose. So this is where I'm going with. hydrogen peroxide tooth powder by, again, Heritage Store. This has to be my favorite thing of the year. I bought it a month, maybe 2 months ago, maybe. And it is, I have used this brand's peroxide water, a mouthwash, but this is a tooth powder, and it is effervescent whitening powder with cocoa theobromine, xylitol, probiotics, CoQ10. And I'm just reading to you what it says. This is not an ad. I bought it myself. It's fluoride free, paraben free, everything free. It has sodium bicarbonate, soda in it, spearmint, so it smells great, calcium carbonate, sea salt, sal marino, sea salt, silica, theobroma 10%, coenzyme Q10, and K12. So you basically put just a touch of it, like a pea-size amount, on your hand. It doesn't work on the toothbrush, it just spreads all over the sink, but you put just a pea-size amount, or even less than a pea-size amount, on the palm of your hand, and then you scoop it with a wet toothbrush, and it foams up in your mouth the way peroxide does. And it just really, you can't even use too much because it will foam up too much, and it really cleans and foams, and it's very cost effective, because this, I don't know how far down I am, I can't tell, but it will last me. I'm all the way to the top. I haven't used anything. It's literally to here, and I've been using it for over maybe a month and a half too. So I can tell that this is gonna last me way over a year, because it's absolutely, you use very little, and it's real effective. I love it. I can't explain to you how much I love it. It's really, it makes me want to brush my teeth a little more often. Because I also love this water floss, and sometimes I would just use that if I just had a snack or something. And again, this one is amazing. I, again, bought it to replace an old one, and this one just holds a charge for a month or more. It's just crazy. So I'll have to double check which one I got, but I'll share it with you. It's phenomenal. I took it with me to Hawaii, and I forgot my charger. And I was a little bit on the savvy side with it, of course, how much I would floss, but it lasted me the whole trip in Hawaii for a whole month. And so I think I'm finishing with those products. Now, if you are a little worried right now about health issues and such things as the whole, I don't even know how to quite call it, is happening with the whole crisis in the world is happening, I would suggest to not freely use the alcohol wipes for everything. They're also not very environmental, but also it's just alcohol wipes some of the good bacteria off, and in general also something to look deeper into, but it would be that, I think was Sophie, something to look deeper into, but the germ theory and the terrain theory, and how building our own immunity is really important in order to, in any health situation, us building our immunity through really clean body. So detox, and also eating a really whole food diet, very high in antioxidants, is the most important thing. State of mind is also, our mind creates our health, literally. Nothing else really creates it. The other things are just side effects. Even the diet is a byproduct of what the mind can create. Our mind creates the reality that we occupy. But speaking of which, if you want to have a peace of mind, that is what I would do when I travel, mostly for bacteria, because that's what really can affect your health, bacteria more so. Viruses, I believe, I love the new research, or the things that are surfacing up right now about viruses, and how viruses are more part of our toxic load and the cell, on cellular level, cells expelling toxic load, rather than something that comes from outside. And again, I wanna, this is all breaking an old paradigm. This is when our whole reality is slowly going to crumble down fall apart, so that we can re-examine our reality and the things that we have believed for hundreds and maybe even thousands of years, so we can see reality from a higher perspective, higher consciousness, and start to understand health, ourselves, our consciousness from a different level. And these are my favorites, of course. They are not just kind of easy light subjects for favorites video, but with us understanding how health works, everything shifts. Now, with all that being said, bacteria is more something that has a factor of contagion, so to speak, rather than viruses. Viruses are really more something you expel as we've always known that if you eat well, you don't get the flu because you don't have mucus in your system, you don't have toxins, you have nothing to expel. And as far as the contagion goes, I feel that how contagious someone is kind of the analogy of if you're in a somewhat good mood and a friend comes over and they're in a bad mood, you could potentially pick up their bad mood depending on your own mood, the strength of your own good mood. So if you're in a really, really high frequency and someone with a lower frequency comes in, because everything is frequency, a virus is a frequency. So if when someone has, for example, the flu, that means they're at a particular frequency. So if your frequency is kind of lower, you're gonna pick up their frequency. But if your frequency is steady high, then you're gonna recognize that the lower frequency have come. You're gonna get some of what they're expelling, exosomes maybe, and your body will stabilize itself because you're in a good place. But when you're not in that great of a place, you can get affected by other people. So someone I have loved listening to for part of the story is Andrew Kaufman, and really interesting videos on really the aspects of science that have not been in the forefront. I think what binds all of this that I'm talking about is we live in a culture of victimhood. Victimhood is celebrated, and victimhood kind of goes hand in hand with fear. Those two things can trap you in the matrix. It can trap you in a false reality, in a false narrative, where you become almost caught up in a web of a particular narrative, a particular reality. So I feel that when we realize that nothing ever has to be observed from the level of victimhood, we liberate ourselves. A victim cannot do anything about anything. A victim by default is someone that has to be helped from outside, and they have no control over their situation. So even though something can be absolutely devastating, scary, and so forth as an experience, we need to always reclaim our own strength and power, because once we give our power away, we give away the capacity to transform and change and to be in control of our own evolution, conscious evolution. So all of this being said, I think I said far too much to tell you that this foam is way better than alcohol wipes because it's based on thyme oil. I just don't want to reinforce that you need to put all kinds of stuff, and really health becomes on a conscious level, and then on a physical, cleaning the body and having a really strong immunity body, more so than just germophobia. But this, on a bacterial level, when I fly, I always have essential oils with me. When in general, when I do things, I love using essential oils for everything: peppermint, oregano, lemon, thieves, rosemary, thyme. And thyme can be even more powerful than oregano is for killing all kinds of everything. And I've been loving this foam. I just got a second bottle from Clean and Well. It's citrus and thyme, and it foams, and even Lottie doesn't mind using it. It has really powerful ingredients in it. As I said, the active ingredient is thyme, but then it has a whole oil, essential oil blend, orange peel, tangerine, balsam, resin, citronella, and so forth. It's really powerful, and I really recommend it. It's a more conscious company. So next for beauty oil. I have been loving this as a standalone, even daily moisturizer, and as a nighttime night cream, both. It's been argan oil, and I got lucky to find this at Marshall's. For 3 of those, I think was $20. I looked online and it's way more expensive. So any argan oil will do. I'll still list everything below. But just a good argan oil, absolutely fantastic. It just doesn't make your skin oily one bit. I know it's not a big discovery. Everybody uses argan oil nowadays. And I have cycled in and out of argan oil, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's just so light, so moisturizing. It's really, really good. That's the Josie Maran. It's phenomenal. I know it's a good company, but as I said, I think it's an expensive company, so I'll see whatever else is rated real high. So speaking of health, I'll let's see, diet. For diet, I have been loving, and I'll tell you the weird combination I eat them with, but dates. And excuse the packaging, but that's what happens when I'm not traveling this year to Bulgaria to eat my figs and pick my grapes and so forth, so I have to do just what I can with the situation in the world. But I have been loving these two things: Jordanian dates, they're juicy, and coconut rolls. I used to get those coconut rolls in the bulk department at Whole Foods, but they've suspended that. So I've been getting dates, and I eat them in a very weird, amazing way. Almond or coconut milk, peanut powder, and a little stevia or some sweetener. Stevia works very well with sweet things because it just punches them up, and I love sweet things. So in that combination, kind of like date cereal, or even with frozen bananas, like frozen banana dessert, absolutely fantastic. It gives you energy, it's pure nutrition, great carbohydrates to refuel your cells. They're also detoxifying. Dates are anti-parasitic. It's really fantastic. It strengthens your system. Dates have so many antioxidants in them. Fantastic. And they're a sugar that goes straight to your cells. If you don't eat it with a lot of fat, you don't want to eat it with a lot of fat, because it can raise your blood sugar, just a minimal amount of fat, like in the almond milk. The sugar goes straight to your cells, straight converted into energy, very, very energizing. So that's been my favorite meal for the entire year. It's a little bit of me adapting, the adaptation thing, rather than a meal I'm bragging about. If I could be picking figs, that would be my first option, and grapes. And of course, I'm eating the seasonal watermelons a lot. So another thing, I have to, hold on, let me see where I put it. It's here. So another thing, what fell? Let's see what I knocked over. Rose geranium essential oil. So another thing that I have loved, and I have spoken about it before, I put this on my desk because it's a silicone microprocessor that comes in a little pouch that you can wear. I usually put it under my shirt. And it's a silicone microprocessor. The way it looks is based on fractals. So it's endless, continuous fractals, kind of like flower of life. And in the center is the microprocessor. This is a silicone microprocessor for electromagnetic frequencies, pollution. Now, you're not allowed to say the new thing that was rolled out in the world, but it is compatible with the new rollout technology. And it can protect you from some of the effects of electromagnetic frequencies. The effects can be anything from anxiety in the stomach, headache, kind of like foggy thinking, kind of feeling a little as if reality is veiled, kind of disconnected, but not in a spiritual way, more in a disconnected way from reality. Those all can be effects of EMF. Other things, more serious things, of course, can happen, but just feeling a sense of anxiety is one of the more common symptoms. Johnny used to drive on the 405, a huge freeway in Los Angeles, and with a lot of cell phone towers, and he would get this absolute anxiety in the stomach that cannot be something that you can breathe out, because usually if it's anxiety on a more biological level, you'd breathe it out, but this is more coming from outside. So this company, I decided it's to partner with them. It's the only company I'm partnering with, in case you're concerned that I'm partnering left and right. Right now I used to partner with Yogi Box for 3-4 years, maybe more, and they discontinued their product. I think there was a change, and then it's over with. But this is the only company I partner with currently, because it is that important to me, and to me this really lines up with my values. I really try to minimize my exposure to electromagnetic frequencies, even smart meters and all of that. So I use this, and I use shungite. Shungite is a mineral. It's a stone that comes strictly from Russia, maybe Ukraine. I think I want to say Ukraine. I ordered it online from Ukraine. I want to say it was from Ukraine, and because it only is discovered in one place on Earth. Actually C60 comes from it. I have done a video on that, but on my small channel. So those are the things I use. You can also, slowly, so loud, I'll try to finish fast. I also try, you can also research copper mesh, but it's actually more expensive, because you have to get enough fabric or copper mesh to cover, say, your bed. But it really stops all frequencies 100%. It's 100% effective if you're having electromagnetic pollution or sickness. Some people are really get sick from it, get headaches, seizures can be related to it. So it is a serious thing that, for me, it's a serious consideration. And this company has a lot of I'll list it below. And I'm pretty certain I had a coupon for it. I'm pretty certain it's still active. I haven't checked. I started 5-6 months ago, so I'm not 100% sure, but there should be a coupon for 10% off. So listed below. But I lost my train of thought. But they have so this one is the bigger. You can have a sticker for your phone. Johnny has the sticker on the back of his phone. I wear this, and it has a radius of around 2 meters. So if someone is near you, they're also falling in that protection. It's I had a train of thought and I forgot. But anyways, I've partnered with them. The PDFs. So open the PDFs. They have a lot of information, scientific information. Some of it will go way over your head because it's quite techy or quite futuristic even. I have to finish. Yeah, it is an absolute must to find something that offers you some protection, especially if you live in very busy city areas. So speaking of babies, I'll tell you what has been my favorite thing to cook or to make or to let her do. So sourdough crackers. I have a recipe for sourdough crackers, and I will list it, the link to it, below, because it's on my website. It's really simple, and I'll tell you why I love it. So if you have a baby, or if you yourself love crackers, and your baby loves crafts or cooking or creative stuff, that is the thing for you. You create the dough from any flour. It can be gluten-free, or if you don't mind, it can be any corn flour, kamut, etc. Some form of fat source. Tahini works really well and makes it very Parmesan cheesy. Starter. You have to create a starter or borrow from someone, but creating it is not a difficult process. And a touch of water, and you make and salt, and if you want spices, sesame, etc. And you make a really firm dough. that dough goes in the fridge and it's ready to go at any time. You can use it in the next 4, 5, 6 days. At some point you're going to have to refeed it, put a little more flour, because it will, the longer it stays, it will get more sour and more cheesy. But it's absolutely amazing. And with that dough, it's kind of like Play-Doh texture. She makes, my baby makes, or toddler, all kinds of shapes and forms and crackers, and she makes mama and nana and dogs, and after that she eats it because the crackers are that good. So if you have kids and you want to entertain them with something, I literally think I can run a whole business off of that idea, because it really allows her to be so creative with her food, to make her own food, to and the food is healthy because it's fermented. It's a fermented product. So it offers, it gives you an option to put whatever you want in the food. So you can put garbanzo flour if you want to add some beans. You can just add turmeric, and endless possibilities and experimentation options. And if you're a person that loves crackers, it will save you money, and you will eat crackers that are fermented, which is really, really healthy for your gut flora and so forth. So I think I might have had other things to share with you, but I hear that baby is back and I better go see what's happening and eat some watermelon. But I hope that this was of value to you, the beauty devices and the health and the food and the cracker recipes. I'll list everything below, and if you have any questions, any suggestions, please let me know. It's always interesting for me to connect with you outside of the yoga classes, and I hope you're doing the astrology series, and also I hope you're doing the booty program, because the booty program has been very interesting, experimental. I have this week I'm posting a class, face and booty, so we're interlacing face yoga exercises into the booty class, so we kind of look beautiful, maybe brains and booty. So that means we're gonna do combinations that require us to think, so that we're keeping the brain young while the booty perky. And I have straight lines booty. I have a very interesting, I did one stretch and jump booty. So we jump and then we stretch that part. Creative, kind of interesting stretches that stretch the IT band, the hamstrings, the glutes. I'm allowing myself to get a little experimental with things. I just finished, if I look very zen, it's because I just finished Aquarius Flow and I loved it, so hopefully you will love it too. I cannot always predict what you will like. It's not always what I loved the most of what I did, but that's how it is with everything. So I hope to see you for the flows. I hope you liked all these things. If you've used beauty tools or beauty things, list them below, because I'm always willing to experiment. And thank you for watching. Namaste.